Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Empyrion Galactic Survival episode 41. I'm Enigmius, and there's some lightning going on around here. I've never seen that before, but all of a sudden we've got lightning, we've got thunder, we've got bad guys running around the ship. Our minigun turrets are taking care of them. Today we're going after the Hyperion crashed ship. Can we see it very well from here? Not especially. Got more lightning going on over there. There's the Hyperion over there. It's very dark. It's the sun has gone down and won't be back for another 9 hours of game time. But it doesn't matter because we're going to be inside the hull of this thing anyways. I was doing a little bit of thinking how I wanted to approach this because there's just so many bad guys, drones, things on the ground, making their presence known on a pretty much ongoing basis. I didn't want to bring the hover vessel out and park it beside the crashed ship because it's only got 3 turrets and it's not going to take long before those turrets get destroyed, and then we're in real trouble because we're going to think that the hover vessel is going to look after itself and it can't. So we're just going to move the capital vessel a little bit closer. We're going to take our chances that it's going to damage some things that maybe we wouldn't want to see damaged, but it's going to be the safer alternative because the ship is just so damn large. If we don't do something like this, something a little bit more risky, we're never going to get this whole thing explored. So we're moving on over here. We're going to go to this plateau that we were looking at before as a potential landing spot, and decided was too close, was going to do too much damage, and now we're just going to kind of take a look. 500 meters out. Look at that drone coming up. Well, it's really difficult to see the drone coming up, and I don't even have a crosshair to show you, but it's on its way. It looks like a large minigun drone, and it's headed in the direction of the capital vessel, albeit very slowly. So we're just going to scoot on down there, most likely on foot, and we're going to see what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into. The idea is to get inside the hull before we get attacked by the drones. And I'm not expecting much alien resistance. So we're just going to shut down the thrusters. We're going to leave the guns on. We're going to leave everything else on. And we're going to scoot on down. We still have this sneaky little exit spot that goes through a hole in the hull. Okay, that wasn't the best exit strategy we've ever had. We're going to reload. We've got the crashed Hyperion at 350 meters. We need light, is what we need, more than a pistol right now. Those are our turrets going after the shenanigans. That plasma drone appears to have fallen through the planet. What is this? Oh, okay. I saw it moving. It looked static when I was getting close to it, and I thought, hey, what is that? And then it started moving. I was like, oh no, I've run face first into this thing and now it's about to eat my face. So, are those crazy looking turrets on the top of that thing? I mean, this thing is massive. Here we go. Straight down inside. Look, it's got a sink. Maybe that's a toilet? Very strange space toilet. And this thing has a core, which we can tell by the fact that we can't damage or destroy any of these blocks. So we could be in a little bit of trouble. Of all the things that I brought with us, of all the ammunition, what the hell? Of all the ammunition that I loaded into the ammo boxes for our minigun turrets, I completely forgot to bring our extra hand weapon ammunition. Yep, that's me. And someone left the tip that the blue crates in structures like this are always empty. And it's the white crates you want to look to if you're in the mood for some loot. So that's kind of good to know. A pair of big screen TVs in what appears to be the lounge. Really, at this point, that it's kind of neat, but if it's not the core for me to destroy so we can start dismantling this thing, I don't much care, to be completely honest. Let's, I switched to the flashlight and then I tried to reload it. That's me. That's just the kind of thing I do. But I gotta try and hustle. It's very tempting in games like this to just kind of slow down and look at every little nook and cranny until you go back and you try to edit the video and you realize, wow, that's like 90% crap. So we're gonna try and keep up the pace. This appears to be the ubiquitous underground section that we're gonna have to excavate if we want to see all the goodies. Look at that turret all the way down there. I don't even think that it would be able to shoot at us if it was active. I think the one thing saving us right now is that it's got a core, but it has no power. That's probably the reason why no turrets are shooting at us or anything like that. Which means it would make sense if we stopped destroying them, because they're more use to us later on if they're intact and we can dismantle them. Let me just check that out. This guy is hanging out down into the dirt. What a strange place. Now, we've got a couple of options. We can pretend like the nameplate is actually the location of the core. I don't believe we have any reason to say that it is, but we're going to pretend like it is, and we're going to dig on down there. I brought more than enough charge for our drill to dig as deep as we need to, and we're just going to go for the straight line approach. And I'm seeing lava. Makes me a little bit nervous because it's also sliding me down the slope that I'm creating. And I don't want to get swept down into the lava. We're getting a little bit of crushed stone. And now we're just going to go straight across and see what we find. There's so much stone dust and concrete powder back on Omicron that this stuff, I'm almost at the point now where I feel like just disposing of all the crushed stone that I get from now on. But we're going to have to do... Oh, hey, what's going on there? Is that real magma or is that just the fake stuff? I've spent so many hours in Minecraft that the sight of magma when it's in a position where it could flow all over you is still terrifying, but it looks like we're okay. I've decided that our next capital ship is going to be much, much larger than the current one, which means we're going to have to expand our base so that we have room to build it. And it's not going to be a major interior expansion, it's just going to be a platform out over the lake. So we're going to need the concrete, and I'm going to keep the crushed stone specifically for that purpose. But so far, I'm not seeing a core, nor am I seeing any convenient way to get any deeper in this mess. We got all this messy stuff. Very, very, very glad that the magma doesn't flow in this game, because that would just be absolutely terrifying. Alright, what are we looking at here? Big pile of nothing. Definitely no core. Confirming our theory that the location of the nameplate doesn't really seem to have anything to do with the location of the core, but having said that, we were excavating on the wrong side of it anyways. No, we weren't. We were alright. Yeah, it's looking to be like 40 some odd meters down that way, but we're not going to get there from here. We just have to kind of examine for alternatives. There's all kinds of ambient sounds. There's like breathing and like strange collision sounds going on, and it's a little bit unnerving just because You never know what you're going to find in these places. You dig that one hole and all of a sudden 6 overseers are looking at you and they're just not very happy to see you. Let's just clear this corner out a little bit in case there's a way down. I don't expect that there will be, but if we don't try, we'll never know. Apparently they're in the works putting together mining from ships so that you don't have to do all the hand mining, which sounds absolutely fantastic. That would kind of push it into the realm of being able to make truly massive ships. Right now, the rate of clearing out the mineral deposits is a little bit too slow to be able to take on the limitless size without creative mode kind of approach. But ultimately, that's where you want to be at some point with these kinds of games, because that's like half the fun. It's like we made it this far and now we're going to take over the galaxy kind of thing. There we go with the lightning. Let's clear this out. You never know what's going to be in a spot like this. And it's not a very big section. Aha! We found it! And we didn't have to do any digging whatsoever. It's right here. And that was a bigger explosion than I was expecting. That was actually pretty savage. Now, we get to switch modes from excavator to dismantler and kind of work our way through here as methodically as we can without losing our minds and get all the loot we possibly can out of here. Now, that having been said, we have to head back to the capital ship for oxygen because we're running a little bit low, and if we don't start now... What the hell? Just like that. The whole upper section of this ship just caved in. Did I do that? I couldn't have been the one who did that. That's ridiculous. Oh, here's a staircase. Will it take us anywhere? Yes, it will. We just gotta get out of here. That's all. Alright, we're back. We're back to the Hyperion after a rather uneventful trip to the capital ship. We got some oxygen. We emptied some of our inventory so that we can gather more things before our inventory is full of things that we just can't live without. And now, there's an oxygen dispenser right there, but it's not powered, so it's no good to us. One of these days, I'm just going to, on a lark, build a base in one of these things. We're just going to take it over, we're going to put in our own core, and we're going to have the coolest base ever. But until then, we're just going to dismantle the whole damn thing to find its secrets and treasures. This is actually a very exciting find for me, because this is all the stuff that I need to make the growing plots for our base on Omicron, which I've been kind of putting off because you don't find a lot of fiber on Omicron. Fiber is one of the types of plants that you can harvest. It's relatively plentiful on Akua, but not so much on Omicron, and I didn't bring my supply with me from Akua because I thought it's fiber. I mean, we're going to a desert planet, how hard can it be to find it? Turns out it's pretty hard. So our garden in our base on Omicron has not been progressing very well at all. It's been a very slow process. So for me to be able to grab all these materials and take them back, it's actually, look at that down there too. It's actually kind of a big deal. Clearly, I'm not the only one who thought of this idea of having these massive growing plots inside of our ships. Look at this. Just waiting to be cleared out because all that stuff on the other side. Oh, there's a giant thruster right there. See, those are the good things. There's 2 giant thrusters right outside, and those take some pretty spendy materials. Personally, coming to the lava planet, I had thought that we would actually be able to get some of those materials for ourselves. But we're not so fortunate. At least not quite yet, anyways. Alright, so we got all of the stuff from the Hyperion's garden. Rather pleased about that. We can see most of what's going on in there just through the grates, which is kind of convenient. I don't necessarily expect to see myself harvesting this entire ship block for block. I don't think that would necessarily be the best use of my time. So it's nice to be able to kind of glance over and see large sections and know that there's nothing there. We'll still go over and take a look for sections that we can't see. But realistically speaking, I think we're in good shape to say that we've been and seen about all we're going to be and see. And we're moving on up here. Still enthusiastic about the prospect of epic loot containers, however, not counting on it. We've got more lounge space than epic loot containers in this particular ship. I definitely have to give the developers credit for putting something this vast in the game. You wouldn't necessarily expect to see something of this scope that's just sitting there waiting to be explored and, you know, moved around in, picked apart, have it collapse on your head, all the different crazy things that can happen. There's something crazy down there that's kind of interesting. Looks like maybe like a hangar. We got the thrusters down there. We're gonna have to do some excavating there. And frankly, I have no real idea where we should go if we want to find loot containers in this bad boy. More living space. Then we come up. Oh, that could have been bad. So this is kind of maybe a hopeful spot. Or is it? Maybe not. I have to be a little bit careful jumping up onto the top. Oh, look at that. See, there was nothing there to stand on. We're getting back to the point where we're going to have to head back to the capital ship for more oxygen. Look at the view. It's quite the view from up here on top of this great big ship. What can we do here? See, this is one of those situations where if you dig the wrong thing or remove the wrong thing, the whole thing can collapse. And then you're sad because you're sitting there watching it fall, wondering, was there anything actually interesting in that mess that's now wasted and falling to the ground? I don't know what that was that I just dismantled, but it was more than your average block. Wow. So we've already seen that area up there. We've got that to look forward to there. I don't expect anything other than the thrusters from that particular section. And we've got stuff underground, which kind of thinking now if we're going to find anything really cool, that's where we're going to find it, is in the underground sections that we'd have to excavate in order to gain access to. So I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to leave this guy for now. There's only so much excavation I can do in a single sitting before we start to think about other things that we could be doing, to be completely honest. But we know where this is, and there's going to be that part of me that's always going to want to know exactly what was here for us to take if we had been a little bit more patient. These tier 1 large generators we will take. They have some of the good goodies. And now we're just going to make sure that we're heading in the right direction to clear our way out of the ship. Oh, see, we broke some other stuff. Keep wrecking it. We're wrecking it faster than we're excavating anything useful from it. Oh, I hear my turrets off in the distance doing their job. And we're going to go up through here. Just clearing our way through. More decorative stuff. I have to say, if there's one thing that's missing from this ship is even the slightest hint of something that you can open and take loot from. It's so important to the experience. It's not so much to get the loot from the things that you're dismantling. It's like, oh, there's something that I can open, and it didn't have much in it, but at least it was loot. See, we got stairs telling us, hey there, chum, head on down. There might be something worthwhile in amongst the lava. The magma. That's actually a pretty good magma effect for the stuff that's starting to cool off and go slowly at the leading edge of this thing that's kind of sliding down the insides of the ship. And there we go, we're out. Safely out. And there's our CV. We aren't going to be dismantling anything out here, so we're going to switch to a weapon. We've got a limited amount of time to get up the hill to our CV to get the oxygen that we need. And then we'll figure out what to go from there. We may have another episode of just highlights, things that we found if we continued excavating, and then we'll go from there, maybe move on to another planet, or we'll head back to Omicron and start building our next capital ship, one of the two. So if you want to be notified when I add the next episode, the easiest way to do that, of course, is to subscribe to my channel or follow me on social media. Links for social media are always in the information section below the video. Feel free to leave your comments and feedback. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.